Hi, I'm Gary. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm looking at the Bradley Infantry Fighting Vehicle in 1/72nd scale from ICM, a kit released in 2025. The kit started life as a Revell issue in 2001, but comes now with decals for 4 different vehicles. If you enjoy this video, do please let YouTube know by giving it the imperial thumbs up, by subscribing to the channel and by hitting the notifications bell. These are all free and a great way to show your support. So let's make a start today by having a look at the box the kit comes in. Okay, so here is ICM's rebox of the M2 Bradley Infantry Fighting Vehicle, something that was originally made by Revell a few years back. On the box art here is lovely though. That's just a great scene of the Arctic Warfare, I think Arctic Warfare Research or something. We'll see it on the side. Great colour scheme. Just made for something like the AK markers to get all these details in, I'm sure. But looks grand. Let's see what it says on the side of the box here. It says the length is 92mm. It contains 150 parts, which is a lot for 1/72nd scale kit. Scale indeed is 1/72nd. Product code is 72912. 92mm in length when complete. That's lovely. And on the other side, we have the various scheme options they suggest. One from Fort Greely in 1984, which is the one on the front. One from Fort Hood in 1985. One in West Germany in the 80s. And one in 1987. I presume that's an exercise called Shadow Hawk 87. And here it says these are intended for adult collectors aged 14 and over. That's because some of the parts are quite small. Anyway, there we go. Let's see what we get inside the box for our money. As usual with ICM, the box has a glossy outer lid on the top, and then underneath is a somewhat sturdy cardboard box with a flip top to protect all the parts, which is very, very good. There's an instruction sheet in here, and inside is probably, yes, a decal sheet as well. And then there are the plastic parts in a plastic bag. Let's have a look at all these different bits and pieces in a bit more detail. Okay, remember this is a Revell tool, so it doesn't have the same frame naming arrangement as ICM. ICM would be calling this frame A and then numbers as well. However, they don't. This is just a pure range of bits and pieces, and there is a map in the instructions to help you find things, but generally you just got to get on with it. So this first frame here is basically, as you can see, the hull and the sides for the running gear, and the back as well, back door. Then we have the top of the hull and the turret, and lots of other little bits and pieces, you know, shackles, chain shackles, and you know, bits and bobs, really, tools that go on the outside, things like that. On this frame we have all the wheels and the tracks, and the tracks, as you can see, are link and length. So some of these pieces for going around the edges of the drive wheels and the idlers and stuff like that are pretty small. That's going to be fun to put together. Then the last two frames just have a few extra bits and pieces, side skirts, a rear panel here, just little bits and pieces of boxes and storage and whatever. Looking at the plastic and the parts, I don't think ICM have moulded these. I think these are directly done by Revell. The reasons why I say that, firstly, are the colour and feel of the plastic. It feels very hard compared with ICM plastic, and slightly glossy as well compared to ICM plastic. And the colours are, it's difficult to see on here because, of course, video systems change colours quite dramatically even when you don't want them to. The colour does seem a slightly warmer grey than the plastic you typically see in ICM. And also, ICM plastic does have an extra crispness. Although this has got a harder feel to it, ICM plastic and mouldings tend to be just that little bit crisper. And I'm not seeing that here. So the other reason is it came in a in a different type of bag that ICM normally use. ICM use like a cellophane bag with a top fold over lid. This one came in a heat sealed bag, which looks like the whole lot came from Revell. ICM then put in the instructions and the decal sheet, and that was that. And then did the box, obviously. I'm guessing that's how done. Look, having said all that, this is 1/72nd scale. These are perfectly good for 1/72nd scale. They're going to be fine to pick out. Some of the detail here as well is perfectly good. It's interesting seeing how these are printed, so they have to, the direction they're printed, the mold goes straight on top, obviously. So how the things like this bar, it's actually a cylindrical bar, but from here it looks like that. But then you can see it's actually got depth to it because it's just a slab of plastic. But from a distance, it will look like a bar, and that's what really matters. Again, the detailing on the side skirts is perfectly good for this size. The grills look okay. They'll take a nice wash quite well. It will make into a lovely little kit. I'm sure of it. It will make a lovely kit of a Bradley. And there are the tracks. I'm guessing that I've got these big rubber pads in the middle, I would imagine. The mouldings look fine. You know, with a bit of wash will bring out all of the detail that they've bothered to put in. And I'm sure they'll look great. This is not bad at all. You know, considering the size, this is not bad at all. The turret looks good enough to me. I'm not much of an expert on armoured fighting vehicles, so maybe you're going to tell me different than some. Oh, this is really rubbish, but I don't think so. There's a tiny bit of flash around the handles here of these tools, but do you know what? It doesn't look terrible, and I'm sure it will clean out nicely. There's this little bit of, which way should we go? That way. Yeah, there's this little sort of three-dimensional bit of plastic, something that's very nicely moulded indeed. Very nicely done. Okay, yeah, that's very satisfactory. This is the decal sheet. As you imagine, for armour, there's relatively little on there. But what is there? The blacks are nice and sharp. The colours are going to be 4-colour prints, so they're not going to be as sharp and as crisp and as bright as you would hope. But I think for a 1/72nd scale, I think they're likely to be just okay to use. So no problem at all. And indeed, when we get closer and you can see some of these colours are not as distinct as we would like necessarily, but at this size and with the camouflage backgrounds, I think they're more than adequate. I think they'll do just fine. The yellowy, I don't know if that's supposed to be yellow or like a desert colour in the background there. But the black has got a lovely definition. You look at this flaming skull here. It's very, very fine. But it's just the colours are going to have a little bit of a struggle to get definition. But again, looking closer, I think they should be fine. I think they should be very good. Here's the instruction sheet. On the front is the reprise of the box art, all very nice. There's a brief history of the Bradley Infantry Fighting Vehicle in English and in Ukrainian, and some basic specs in English and Ukrainian as well. There are the colour callouts here. These use ICM's colour scheme here. You can convert those into other colours very, very easily on their own website, apart from anywhere else. And of course, you have a quick translation of the icons here. There is a QR code. This goes to their YouTube channel. On the inside, the first thing we get are the frame maps, as I mentioned before, and then the construction. Now, these are very heavily drawn, and I suspect these have come straight from Revell. There's no point redrawing everything when they've got all these things anyway, but they are very, very heavy compared to what you would normally see in an ICM kit. But Again, it's very, very straightforward. Wheels go together in halves. They go onto the sides, onto the suspension arms. And a few other bits and pieces go in, all clips together. I mean, that part of it looks quite straightforward. The trick is getting all these bits actually to sit properly, because there's a lot of parts to the tracks on this, a lot of parts. That, I guess, is going to be the biggest challenge for this kit. Putting the hull together is relatively straightforward. The hull mounted gun as well. And you have the basic hull, then you have the side skirts, then you can build the turret. All bits and pieces go into the turret and it just clips into the top, and that's it. I mean, relatively speaking, not all that much to do. Some of the parts are going to be a bit small and they're going to be fun to paint, but you know, they're okay. So here we have the schemes as well, the box art here from the US Army Cold Regions Test Centre in Fort Greely. That's on the box art. One here from 2nd Armoured Division at Fort Hood in '85. One here from the 3rd Infantry Division in Germany in the mid-80s. And on the back, the exercise Shadowhawk 87 and the colours for that. So, relatively straightforward set of instructions. It's a nice enough little kit, a very shelf-friendly scale, and something that can be made with some interesting colour schemes and would sit very nicely in a modestly sized diorama. I do like the fact it comes with Lincoln length tracks in their scale as well. Now remember, if you've enjoyed the video, do please let YouTube know by giving it the thumbs up, by subscribing and by hitting the notification bell. Thanks so very much for watching today, and goodbye.